Hey, welcome to the 4K Lowdown and Turner Fan 77 present By the Numbers. This is episode 10, where we take new releases, we give them the lowdown, and see whether you guys should probably watch them, if they're worth watching, or if they're clunkers. We're looking for bangers, not clunkers, but sometimes we got to watch them.
Yeah,
I'm your host, David. My co-host is
Turner Fan 77, aka Rich.
Rich. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
You survived the weather?
I did. We survived the storm. It turned out not to be as bad as we thought.
That's good.
Yep. So it looks like we ran into an issue with our episode here. So I'm trying to get it fixed.
What's wrong?
It said that the YouTube didn't start, so that there was an issue. And I remember when I first created this thing, it all of a sudden was gone.
Right.
So I created another one. Yeah, so I created it again. And when I went to start, it said the YouTube one was deleted. You need to like close it out and redo it. And I was like, okay, so I did that. And it says we're live, but it's not
It says, I'm just check the app and I don't know if you can see that. We're live. At least it looks like we're live. I don't know how with the delay.
We're live, but it also has the episode 10 with the thumbnail and everything on a separate post. And that one is there. So I'm going to do a little minor surgery here.
Anyway, while he's doing that, man, I hope everyone had a great week. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. It's our movie day. Not new movie day, but it's our movie day to talk movies.
Mm-hmm.
We have some good movies to talk about. Maybe we have one we didn't like. Maybe we have one we didn't like. We'll have to wait and find out. This week, hitting the theaters, we have Shazam. I'm looking forward to see that.
Me too.
5. I'm looking forward to see. I'm gonna try to catch out on Friday.
I did see that.
And then Sunday, I'm gonna go see Shazam. Did you get it fixed?
Right. Well, our thumbnail is still not on there. I mean, we're live.
Yeah, we're live. I see it on the.
I just hope that people are able to find it and get on there. I just got to be. Unfortunately, nobody was reminded because the upcoming one is gone, so I'm going to delete that.
Okay. Little glitch. That happens.
Yeah, sometimes it happens, but I created the thing in StreamYard. We do have somebody on, and it's Adam, my brother.
What's up, Adam? I just caught a little bit of your KB movies. I popped in real quick, saw that you're on there. I wanted to acknowledge you guys. You guys are doing great from what I've seen.
Adam's the best, man. I haven't seen Adam in forever.
Spoiler alert: me and Adam are gonna be doing a Kevin Smith deep dive. We're going to start with Clerks, working our way through his filmography. Hopefully, we can try to do it once a month, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Good, and he's on YouTube too, so looks like we were able to get that fixed.
Awesome.
It's just nobody got the notification, but oh well. Hopefully they can jump on.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we got another 5 movies that we're gonna watch that we watched this week. That we watched. You said yourself, some may be good, some may be bad, and there was one clunker that I wasn't too happy about.
Yeah, me too.
But other than that, I was pretty happy with the group. So what we're going to be taking a look at this week is we're going to take a look at, of course, Creed 3, which is out in theaters now, and it's doing pretty well in the box office. I like this poster. That was a neat poster, so I went with that. We're going to take a look at the Whitney Houston. I'm stretching the word biopic a little bit, but the Whitney Houston biopic, I Want to Dance with Somebody. We're going to look at the not David Cronenberg, but I think the son or brother or something Cronenberg movie, Infinity Pool, starring Alexander Skarsgård and Mia Goth. We're going to look at The Strays, which is on Netflix. British film, didn't recognize the cast. But the trailer looked interesting, and we're going to look at women talking, or we're going to listen to women talking. I don't know. We're going to look at women talking, which was nominated and won for best screenplay, best original screenplay.
Yeah.
No, adapted screenplay, because it's based off the book.
Yeah.
So it won for best adapted screenplay. Everything Everywhere All at Once won for original screenplay. Absolutely deserving. So I can't wait to talk about this.
Me too. I'm looking forward to that.
All right. So what did you think of this group of our?
I had fun watching them. There's one movie you said it to. I had higher hopes for.
Yeah.
And I ended up being, why did I pick this movie? Kind of sucked.
Yeah. It kind of sucked, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, even my wife was like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Yeah.
She was like, man.
But yeah, there was ones I did not think I was going to enjoy, ended up loving. And we'll get to that movie when
yeah. No, me too. I was kind of dreading one of them and went, but once I started playing it, I was like, this is really interesting.
Yeah.
And
it made me if it's the same movie, it made me put my phone down. I was in. It sucked me in right away. I wasn't.
Yeah.
Just focusing on this film.
And we got Dell. What's up, Dell?
How you doing, man?
All right. So where do you want to start? Do you want to get the clunker out of the way? Get the clunker out of the way.
Yeah.
I think you and I are on the same boat. Strays.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you. So I don't have any, of course, I don't have any information on it as far as I didn't have a budget. I couldn't find it wasn't released in the box office. It was straight to Netflix. So
and there's a reason why.
There's a reason why. I really liked the trailer.
I did too. The trailer sucked. I can't wait to see
the trailer sucked me in. I was like, ooh, I like this trailer. It looks creepy.
And that was the best part of it.
And that was the best part. The trailer was the best part. And yeah, rightfully so, because you gave the trailer a 7 and I gave it an 8. That, like I said, that was the best part.
Yeah. And there were some good performances in here. I won't say good.
The acting was all right.
Yeah, all right.
The acting was all right. And I think it would have been better if the script had been better. I did not care for the script here.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I swear if we score the editing on this, I think the editing would have gotten a 3, because I did not like how it was edited and put together.
Yeah.
It really did not make any sense, right down to the fonts on the screen with the names and the stuff. I was like, what are you doing? I don't understand.
This reminded me of a film.
Hold on. We got a whole bunch of people. Mika joined us. Hey, Mika. Thank you for coming back to us. I know you were anxious to hear our thoughts about women talking, and we'll definitely get to that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I caught a little bit of it, and it was great.
Yeah. Strays was wow. The mother was savage. Right? Okay, we're gonna get into that.
I thought this felt like a college film course, like somebody in college put a film together. Okay. Just how sloppy. I don't know. I was not impressed.
I don't know. It looked like maybe I edited it or something. I don't know. The editing really bugged me. Yeah. And everybody's loving the stream with KB. I'm gonna definitely check that out.
Dude, it was pretty good.
But anyway, so I want to kind of read the plot of this thing. And at first I was like, oh, is this Strays, the dog movie, which is supposed to be coming to the theater pretty soon? And I'm like, don't do this. I saw a trailer for that and the dogs are talking. I'm going to have a problem with that movie.
Is that Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah. I
have a problem right there.
So the synopsis of this movie reads, a black woman's meticulously crafted life of privilege unravels when two strangers show up in her quaint suburban town. And okay, So
And they're not strangers.
they're not strangers. They're pretty strange, stranger than most, but um there was some there was some there was some interesting things that I liked, but as a whole, I didn't care for this movie at all.
Me neither.
It was, like I said, the trailer was the best part,
Yeah.
but
I think that
as
was the
far as
highest
in the
score.
movie, it's like they said, okay, here's the trailer, and they went, oh great, make that into a movie, and then they took that 2-minute trailer and stretched it into an hour and a half film and didn't give us any more stuff.
And the way it ended, I was like, what? Wait, what?
Yeah.
I was
Well,
like,
okay. The way it ended, I was like, my first thought was like, you bitch. Did
right?
did that just happen? And
Yeah.
everybody in the house is just like standing there going, really? Everybody, it was like they all were like, did that just happen? And I was
Yeah.
like, dude, that pissed me
Yeah.
off. I was so mad.
Well, here's the funny thing. I thought I dozed off and I missed something.
Did I miss something? Is it
Yeah.
just,
I was
yeah?
like, what the hell?
I
So I had
wouldn't
to
be
rewind.
surprised if you dozed off, brother, because I was like,
Yeah.
I remember I put this in and I started it and I got about 20 minutes in and I'm like, oh no,
Yeah. I almost sent you a text saying, I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna wait and watch the Oscars, and which I did. I just waited, watched the
What
Oscars,
was the
and then
better show?
I didn't come back to it until the next day. And then I was like, I gotta finish this movie so that we can do this. And I watched the movie, and it's trying to be a psychological thriller, and I was kind of buying that at
Me
first.
too.
But they let the cat out of the bag too early.
They did. And another thing I hated about this movie, and I understand why they did it. I hate that she was ashamed of who she was. It came
Yeah.
off that. I didn't like that.
Well, and I was kind of that way too. It was like, right off the bat when I saw the trailer, I went, is this a race thing? Is she like ashamed of her race?
Yeah, that just irritated me,
So
man.
she thinks she has to pretend to be white in order to get the privilege. And I was really disappointed in that. And I was like, is that what this movie is going to be about? Now it does take a turn and it's a little bit different, but ultimately, yeah, it kind of fell back to being about race or about some kind of prejudice, but not necessarily racial prejudice, but her prejudice.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
This is a terrible movie.
It was when they were filming it, I was like, okay, is this trying to be like Us?
When
they were doing some of they're standing there on the street staring at her, and she's kind of when the psychological stuff, it was like it was trying to be Us, like it was
like
trying to do a Jordan Peele.
It was a party, right?
Or Get Out. It was trying to be like a Jordan Peele, like, and do some kind of psychological torture. And I was almost down for that. Like I said, but then they let the cat out of the bag, and all of a sudden you go,
and it was kind of obvious from the
yeah.
At one point you're like, before they even let out of the bag, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and not just, but not just colorism in general, Mika. It was like her. I just,
to me, it doesn't send a good message.
No, it does not send a good message.
I always tell,
it doesn't send a good message as a black woman. It doesn't send a good message, and as a mother, it doesn't send a good message. So
this movie rubbed me the wrong way.
No, yeah, I agree with that.
It sucked.
I agree with that. I mean, if you're you have Netflix and it's free and you're running out of choices, then maybe check it out. Make a drinking game out of it. Every time they talk about, it's almost like you're one of us. And I was just like,
they said that one more time.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, every time that happens, our you're almost part of the team, or it's almost like you're human. I was just like, really?
Yeah.
And
I just got a message. Somebody said our video's not on. Um,
like I said, it's on.
yeah.
It's just not on the same link on YouTube.
Yeah.
Tell them tell them to go to our YouTube, go to the 4K
Yeah. I'm
Lowdown
sending it.
page and
Right.
they'll see it. So yeah, but that happened. Like I said, with StreamYard, where I created
Yeah.
the event and then all of a sudden they removed it. It was just completely gone. So I created a new one, and then YouTube just thought I deleted it when I didn't. I got rid of the old one, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Anyway, um,
Sorry.
so yeah, and I gotta say, and then that's kind of where my downfall of this movie is in the ending. I gave the ending a 3
I gave it a
because
4.
you gave it a
I was
4.
being generous because
Yeah. But
yeah.
otherwise, yeah, I was like, I can't give it a 4. I was like, I hated it because number one, there was no closure,
Mm-mm.
and
Just gets up and walks away.
yeah, it was just over.
That's what we should have done about 20 minutes in and just walked away.
We should have. I shouldn't have watched the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
I might have liked it because all I saw was the first 20 minutes with the psychological where she was unraveling, and I was kind of in for that. But then, yeah, once they answered why, it was like, oh, really? The trees are killing people. Well, now I'm bored. Uh, but and I think the only thing, getting the score that we did was because we both gave the cast a 4, because we've got to consider it a foreign film. We didn't recognize anybody. And since it's a British film, we gave the cast a 4. Otherwise, that would be a 1 and we'd be even lower. So IMDb gave this a 4.7. The Rotten Tomatoes critic score is 54. Audience score is 30. And I have to say, it seems like we might have highballed this even still. You gave it a 61.
Yeah.
And I gave it a 58 for a total average score of 59.5. So we're right around the Rotten Tomatoes critic score. But I think that's only because the trailer saved it. But yeah, Dell hasn't seen it.
Don't.
I mean, even this movie poster is just lame, very lacking of anything wanting me to see it. Yeah, but the trailer kind of hooks
The
you.
trailer's great.
You watch the trailer and you're like, oh, it seems kind of a Jordan Peele-ish and like a creepy psychological horror movie. Yeah, but yeah, Dell, if you do have a chance to take a look at it,
Yeah, let us know next week.
I'd like to get your opinion on it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it's worth watching. I think the only good thing is that it's on Netflix. So if you have it, it's kind of free. So it's there.
I like how you said
Check it
kind
out.
of free.
I guess it's kind of free because you're paying for the membership.
Yeah.
But it does suck an hour and a half out of your life. And I know I'm almost 53, so I gotta use that sparingly. I've got a shelf life now, so
Yeah.
I can't watch crappy movies anymore, bro.
Yeah. My bad.
That's okay. But yeah, I watched the trailer and I was like, okay, I'm down for this when you were talking to me about it. And then I watched it and I was like, oh, what just happened?
Yeah, that's my bad.
Yeah, so throw a couple pictures from the movie. I couldn't really find anything very decent. But this was kind of a creepy shot.
Yeah.
But the strangers, as it says in the thing, the strangers that were kind of torturing her, we were like very much not strangers. Once you
knew exactly who they were.
You know exactly who they are, like almost right off the bat. Because at first you're like, is she seeing things? Because I thought, with the house cracking and with things like that, it looked like it was all in her mind.
Yeah.
But then
especially she thought her son was talking to somebody in the hallway, And then when
Yeah.
she turned back and
And there's
looked at
nobody
her,
there, or she sees someone out the window, and that
uh-huh.
was in the trailer too. See someone out the window, and everybody looks, and there's nobody there. And I'm thinking, okay, so this is all in her head. What
Mm-hmm.
is she? Does she have amnesia and she's reliving some past life or something like that? And then I kind of would have been down for that. But then all of a sudden, like I said, they open it up and they were like, okay, here, these two really exist, and here they are. And you're like, oh, okay. So I don't want to spoil it anymore. Not that it's going to matter to you guys, but yeah, it's a thumbs down from me. Didn't care for it.
Me too.
I probably wouldn't watch it again. I will be happy that this doesn't get a physical release, but I
But
mean,
you never know. This is just our opinion. All film is
yeah, no,
subjective.
it's all
You
subjective.
might
I
like
mean,
it.
Mika had some positive things to say about
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah.
So but yeah, I just don't know. I just don't know. It just rubbed me wrong. I agree with you. I have Netflix. Maybe I'll carve out 90 minutes, but no promises.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. If you do, let us know. And if you're like, hey, I liked it, and here's what I liked about it, I'd love to get your view.
Yeah.
And maybe that'll, adjust my mind a little bit. But yeah, I just didn't like the direction that it took.
Maybe neither. We're just two knuckleheads, and
yeah, we're with faces for radio, so
yeah.
it's just not. Yeah.
Excuse me. We want your guys' opinions too.
Yep. All right. So let's get into. Okay, there's another one I want to talk about. Let's get into Infinity Pool.
Yeah, let's do.
Okay. I am not a Cronenberg fan. Yeah. Thanks, Mika. I'm not a Cronenberg fan. Any Cronenberg.
Yeah.
I'm just not.
He's an acquired taste.
It's too far for me. It's not. I don't understand it. It confuses me. I tried to watch Crimes of the Future because I like Viggo Mortensen, and I know that's a Cronenberg. That one was weird. I generally don't give these good scores because I just don't like how they're written. I don't like how the movie plays out. But there are some. I mean, what? Crash? I didn't like Crash either. We're just,
either one of them.
Any of the the one with Sandra Bullock and Matt Dillon and all those guys. That was the greatest movie I've ever hated. And I hated that movie, but it was really well done. But the one with James Spader and with the crashing and the sex, no. That was no. Just no.
And this is from the guy that made me watch Incision.
I made him watch Excision, and he's like, this has got to be right up your alley. No, that took a turn on a street that I didn't want to go down, bro. There were things I liked about it. Spader is amazing. I like James Spader. I am a huge fan of him in Blacklist. But yeah, it's not. This just wasn't my thing. There were things I liked about it, and I like this better.
I liked this movie for the most part.
I like this better than The Strays. That's not saying a whole lot. He made me watch Tusk, and I'm still scared. I have not seen Tusk.
I like Tusk.
I have not seen Tusk. So IMDb gave this a 6.1. Rotten Tomatoes critic score 87, but audience score 51. What's up, Spicy?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Spicy's on. Mika loves Cronenberg. His films are tough for people. Yeah, it's like Rich said, they're an acquired taste, and I have not acquired them. There are things I like. I've never been completely disappointed. I just don't care for the style. It's kind of like coconut. I don't mind the taste of coconut. It's the texture that I don't like. So I don't eat coconut. And I feel the same way about Cronenberg. I like the stuff, the special effects and the and the scary stuff. I'm digging, but I just don't like how the story comes together. And I don't like how weird it goes. It just sometimes doesn't make sense. And this movie did not make sense to me. So
I think this movie's worth watching.
I, I, if you are a Cronenberg fan, then this is worth watching. If you
Mia
are,
Goth
if you're a
is
Mia Goth fan,
fantastic.
this is
She's
worth watching
fantastic in this.
because
And
she's
she's
creepy.
yeah,
I love her. She's creepy as
I do
hell.
too.
She's becoming one of my favorite genre actresses.
Me too.
Um,
Her and
so
Jenny Ortega have really caught my
yeah,
attention.
Jenna Ortega, yeah, and they were both in X. So
Oh yeah, that's right.
go figure.
Uh,
Um, okay, so James and M. Foster are enjoying an all-inclusive beach vacation in the fictional island of La Tolca when a fatal accident exposes the resort's perverse subculture of hedonistic tourism, reckless violence, and surreal horrors. So, I mean, I was like, okay, I'm in. Um, and I watched the movie and I'm like, okay, it was History of Violence.
yeah,
Okay, see,
I like that.
I liked History of Violence until the end. I did not like the end of that one. But otherwise, I thought History of Violence was good. Spice's Infinity Pool
Hmm.
was a trip. Need to watch it again for sure. It's
Hmm.
definitely one that you might want to go back and go through just to kind of okay, what's really going on here. But yeah, I just the whole I don't know the whole concept.
Do we
Really just
want to
kind
spoil anything?
of
I
I
say
don't
no.
I say no. It's
I,
just so now as far as our scores go, your highest score was in the story. You gave it a 9.
yeah, I liked the presentation of the story. I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
I liked. Oh man, I can't really say what I liked because I don't want to spoil it.
You're gonna spoil it. Well,
Yeah.
see, because I
Yes.
gave it a 6 because I didn't care for the story. Um, so there were kind of different, but we both gave the acting an 8. So I
Yeah,
think
acting
the
was great.
acting was solid. Um, but then yeah, you're I'm just gonna say your scores were higher than mine, and it
Hmm.
seems kind
I
of obvious.
liked this movie.
I did like it. I didn't love it. Will it be something I would buy? Probably not.
See, I bought it digitally, so I don't.
Um,
I don't think I need to own this physically.
yeah. No, and I watched it digitally and I'm good. I'm good. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
I probably won't watch it again. But there was some, there was some nudity and
Hmm.
there was some creepiness and there was some gore and
There was a lot of creepiness.
there's a lot of creepiness
Okay, I'm
and
gonna try to
and
dance around this.
on different levels, on multiple levels.
Yeah.
There's creepiness to where you're like, "Oh, okay, that's creepy." And then you're like, "Oh, that's creepy." And then you're like, "Oh, this is creepy." Because it wasn't like the same thing was happening. It was like it was
Yeah.
going in so many different directions. It was all over the place. Mia Goth starts out all, flowers and peanuts, and then she's creepy. And the whole thing with the cops starts out okay, but then it
Yeah.
gets creepy. And then the whole thing with Skarsgård and how his character develops or evolves during the movie starts out, oh, semi decent and then goes creepy. So it was just it was like that. Everybody got creepy in the movie.
I think the
And
creepiest for me, I'm gonna try to skirt around it. When they have the people tied up on the um, poles.
hey, I know that name. Juggle Butter's my son.
Oh, nice.
What's up,
Thanks for
son?
joining us.
Yes, Cronenberg did do Scanners. It was that was David though, David Cronenberg, I
Yeah.
believe. And I do love Scanners. Like I said, there are times where I really like it, but as a general rule, I am not a Cronenberg fan.
I think I've only seen Scanners once,
Yeah. Oh man, I love Scanners.
but
Um,
when they're tied up on the pole and they have to watch what happens to the people tied up to the pole. You figure out what I'm talking about,
yeah.
and the joy that they have while they're watching the people tied up on the pole is really creepy to me.
Yeah.
And then um, once Skarsgård figures out what's going on, and they bring him into that room, like they're having a little party and they're talking. I thought that was kind of creepy too.
Yeah.
When they're asking him, "Do you think?" Oh, never mind. I won't spoil.
Yeah. Well, let's go to a couple of pictures that I have.
That scene, these things right here. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That is very creepy in the movie.
Yeah. It's very creepy. And then, like I said, Mia Goth is like that crazy hot meter
Yeah.
that girls have. There are times where like, oh man, she is so hot. And then you're like, oh,
Mm.
whoa, that's a little bit too far. I'm a little creeped out. I'm gonna have
In
to
the
say,
car scene when they're chasing him in the car
mhm,
towards the end. Oh man.
yeah. Well,
That,
see, okay. Now that kind of bugged me. The dialogue bugged me on that one.
yeah, I know what you mean.
Um, but yeah, and because of this movie, yes, trippy. It was very trippy.
It was.
Um,
But overall,
I
I'm
mean,
glad I watched it. I had a good.
overall, I'm not disappointed that I watched it. I didn't like it as much as I thought I would. Um, but there were parts definitely that I liked.
Me too.
So, now globally, it only made 5 million in the box office, just barely cracked 5 million.
Yeah, and I can see why.
Um,
And
but
you said globally, right?
that's global, yeah.
Yeah.
As like I said, IMDb was 6.1, Rotten Tomatoes was 87 for the critics, 51 for the audience, and you gave this movie a where are you? I had you 72. So
Mm.
you gave it a 72 and I gave it a 66. So total average score of 69. And no pun intended on that. But I mean, like it wasn't bad. I didn't, I don't know. It's like peanut butter. I don't care for peanut butter, but I'll eat it. Um, and that's kind of how I felt. There were parts that I really liked. There were some
Mhm.
really creepy parts that I liked, and then there were some parts where I was like, okay,
I
that's too
liked when they break into the house too. I thought that was
yeah.
pretty cool.
I liked a little, yeah. Well, when you're kind of give that, yeah. So he gave it a 2.5 on Letterboxd.
I don't remember what I gave it on
Yeah,
Letterboxd.
so I don't know. I think you gave it 3.5.
Okay, maybe that's what it was.
I think
Yeah,
you gave it 3.5. I haven't done it yet, but I'd probably give it 2.5 for me. I
yeah,
mean,
I see. I understand that.
legit probably 3, but my scores do not reflect my feelings toward it.
Hmm.
So I try to be as objective with the scores as I can. So score wise, I gave it probably 3 stars, but as far as my liking it, probably 2.5.
Yeah, I'm glad we watched it. I
Yeah,
was excited to see it.
I'm glad we watched. I was really happy to see Mia Goth in something else,
Hmm.
and I was also happy to see Mia Goth use her English accent.
Yeah,
I
and that was weird too at
I kind of
first.
like that because I've watched her in X and of course Pearl, and she speaks with an American accent, very
Hmm.
country slang accent. But then when she's doing her interview, she's full on, English,
Hmm.
full on British, and you actually got that in this movie. So
I think she's.
I kind
I
of
think
like listening
she's
to her
good.
talk. But yeah, I did have, I had a little bit of a problem with the script. And that was another thing. I gave that a 6 and you gave it an 8. Um, but that had to do with, some of the dialogue. It was just some of the dialogue was just like, really, you're gonna talk about that and then say it that way, and it just, I don't know, it just that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But all in all, not bad for me. I'm gonna go thumb sideways because
I give it a thumbs up.
it's probably worth a watch, especially if you're a Cronenberg fan. Absolutely, but
Most of the time, me and you were right on the same page.
yeah,
This one, we're a little
yeah.
different.
This is, I mean, we're only 6 points difference in the score, but um, yeah, this is Brandon Cronenberg, which I don't know if he's David Cronenberg's son or nephew or what, but I know he's got to be related if I'm doing it,
Yeah.
looking at it like that. Okay, yeah, he did Possessor, and I dug that.
You know, I have yet to see that.
And he did Antiviral, and I kind of liked that.
Everybody raved about Possessor.
Yeah,
I have yet to
Possessor. I like Possessor, but again, yeah, it's weird. Yeah, I don't know his relation to David Cronenberg, but there's got to be
Yeah,
the
I'm sure.
stories are too close. It's just the way it's written and filmed. It's too close. Um, so random just checked out Cocaine Bear. What a fun
Yeah,
movie!
man. We talked about that
Good. I'm
last week.
glad you had a fun time with it. Yeah, we did
Yeah.
too.
We appreciate
Um,
you guys letting us know what movies you watched.
yeah,
Um, so,
definitely.
and remember, if there's movies you want us to check out, let us know, and then we'll
Yeah,
put it on our list to check out.
yeah, for sure. All right. So let's go with okay, let's um I'm not gonna sing. I was almost gonna try to sing, but let's do I Want to Dance with Somebody. Um
Okay. Before we get this, we get to. I really love Whitney Houston, early Whitney Houston, pre Bobby Brown Whitney Houston.
oh yeah,
I grew up in that
I
era.
think
I love.
everybody does.
Um, I had I had so much expectations in this film for this film.
Mhm.
The thing I wish they would have done was just picked one section of her career, like from the beginning, maybe until she broke big. Instead, I don't like what they did with this movie. They jumped everywhere.
Yeah.
I wish they would have started from when she was a kid until she hit big, and then
Yeah.
ended it right there. And
Yeah.
that's my opinion.
I think my thing, and I'm almost right there with you, bro, because I would have liked it to have ended with her Star Spangled Banner performance.
Yes, I would have been happy with that. That would have been a perfect ending.
Just, give me that early career
Hmm.
bam with that moment. Um, I absolutely dug that. That was like one of my favorite things
Yeah.
in the movie that she did that.
I mean,
Um,
we all know what
but
Whitney
that
Houston
was
went
that
through.
in the movie, that was just a footnote. It was
Yeah.
just and I was like, that was the one of the most iconic things that she's ever done.
I wish they would just focused on the instead of the negative, focus on the positive.
Yeah, and
Because we all know the tabloids, what the tabloids said about her and Bobby Brown. Um, I think this should have been a celebration of the positivity of her life because she was amazing. Her voice, she was beautiful. She was amazing, great singer.
yeah,
I just wish they would have focused on instead
yeah,
of the negative stuff.
yeah. Mika hasn't seen this yet. Yeah,
Check it
I
out.
definitely check it out.
Mhm.
I agree with that to a point. I do want the whole story. Don't glorify the whole thing, but they they s- they skipped like whole eras, like
Mhm.
whole things that she did. They were just like, oh no, 7 number 1 albums. I'm better than the Beatles. Great, but I wanted more of that. I wanted,
Yeah.
give me some more stuff. I know about the drugs. I know about Bobby
Mhm.
Brown. I know about all the number one hits. I know about all that. Give me stuff that I don't know.
Yeah.
Now it's from the same writer that wrote Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, I didn't
And
know that.
yeah, and I was hoping that it would match that the story, and they tried to do a little bit the same way.
Mhm.
Which, like story, like the up and coming story, and then things start happening and falling apart, and then like one glorious thing at the end, and you kind of get something like that. The
But the difference
story is similar.
is the acting is
Yeah.
way better in Bohemian Rhapsody
Oh
than it
yeah.
is. I want to dance with
Rami
somebody.
Malek. I
Oh
I
yeah,
did like the girl here.
I did too. But I mean, this was night and day to me. The acting performances from Bohemian Rhapsody and
Yeah.
I want to dance with somebody.
Yeah. What's her name? Naomi Aki, I believe.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, Naomi Aki. Um, I will call it, and then Ashton Sanders was Bobby Brown,
I thought he
and
did a good Bobby Brown.
he's a good actor. Because he was an Equalizer too,
Hmm.
and I like him. I don't know if I liked him in this role, but he did do a decent job.
Mhm.
Um, now
I like Bobby Brown.
I like Bobby Brown too,
Um,
until he married Whitney Houston and like all that fell apart. Now,
I think
um,
he we're going to go on a tangent here. I liked when him and New Edition got back together. They did a hot minute. They put out a new album.
yeah,
I dug that.
yeah,
But that's here to there. We're talking
yeah,
about the movie.
yeah. Um, I love Stanley Tucci. Stanley
Mm-hmm.
Tucci is one of my favorite
Yeah,
actors
I
of all
thought
time.
that was perfect casting.
I him as Clive Davis
Yeah.
was amazing. I think that was spot on,
Mm-hmm.
and he did a great job.
And he came off his performance. He came off. I believe he genuinely cared for that lady.
Yeah,
Um, I liked his performance.
yeah, totally. Now, um, as far as as far as scoring, okay, so IMDb gave this a 6.7. Did I write that down right? I think that was. Let me double check something really quick because the Rotten Tomato score doesn't seem right.
What was Rotten Tomato score?
That's why I'm double checking.
Oh, okay.
I don't think. Nope, I did get that down right. Okay, because I was like, that can't be right. It is right. Rotten Tomatoes critics score 44%.
It's not that bad.
44%, and I'm like,
How many ratings? How many reviews?
Since I've got it, 131.
Oh, they're hard on this movie. I think they're too hard.
I think they really shit on this movie. Now, audience score 92%.
This movie had me singing. I ain't gonna lie. I was there to sing it.
Now I am a little disappointed because she lip synced through all this. There was only the first song that she does in the church. That's the only one that she did.
Yeah.
Everything else was all.
In the
But
last
I was like, how can you be Whitney? I'm sorry, there is no one on the planet that can sing like Whitney.
Yeah.
So I get it, but I would have liked more of her. Like, Taron Egerton as Elton John in Rocket Man, he did all the songs.
No, I didn't know. I've never seen Rocket Man. I'm not a fan of Elton John, so I didn't watch it.
I was hoping that Rocket Man would be like Bohemian Rhapsody, and it wasn't. It was a musical, so that really disappointed me. But, but I like Elton John. I'm a fan. But
did you notice in the last performance, they had the real Whitney Houston on screen on the monitors?
Yes,
and it didn't match what she was doing on the stage. I was like, wait a minute. Somebody didn't notice that. How did you not notice that when you edited that movie?
Yeah. Well, and of course I like the, they do this stuff at the end with, how, she died and this and that and all her albums and all the stuff that she did. And I dug that part. I know you do too. So still the music is my favorite part of this. And you and I both gave the music 10 for the soundtrack.
And I am particular on the soundtrack. I don't ever rarely ever do I give a 10.
Rarely. Yeah. We've only given a couple because I'm a sound nut myself. I want a good soundtrack when it, and the soundtrack, the music makes the movie.
Yeah. And this brought me back to my childhood. I mean, there's moments in this movie where I could picture what I'm doing when I was a kid.
Yeah. Now also you gave the ending a 10. So what was it about the ending that you gave a 10 to?
It's not her dying that I gave the 10 to.
Yeah.
That sounds bad.
No.
It's that moment she shines on stage.
Well, yeah, and that reminded me of Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, because that to me is the ending of that movie.
Yeah, they ended with him doing Live Aid.
Yeah,
and it had just epic moment. And they did the same thing.
Was a perfect ending.
Yeah. So
the only thing I wish
John was the first concert he ever went to. Nice, Spicy.
Nice.
Awesome. Mika loves Whitney. Have to check it out. She is my favorite all-time female artist.
Mika, she's amazing.
Me too. Absolutely. What did you guys give the soundtrack for Babylon? I actually
the
have
drug
that.
part.
I gave the soundtrack a 10 and Rich gave it a 9 for Babylon.
Yeah.
So yeah, I dug the music. I wanted Babylon to win original score. I wanted it. All Quiet took it. I'm not surprised. But yeah, I wanted Babylon to win for best original score. Anyway, so the budget on this was 45 million. And I actually got some numbers on this. Globally, this movie made 59.2 million in the box office.
That's it.
That's it.
Oh man, as big of a icon as she was, I figured that globally, that would be at least 100 million.
Yeah. What's up, Harrison?
What's up, Harrison? How you doing, man? We're talking Whitney Houston right now.
We're talking Whitney Houston. We're talking about, I don't know, Dance with Somebody. Oh, I want to feel the heat with somebody.
I definitely want to feel the heat with somebody.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, this was my favorite performance, but then yeah, you're talking about the end when she did this.
Oh, that's yeah.
And yeah, that was an amazing moment.
Mm-hmm. I just don't like how they sprinkled in a drug dealer. I just wish they would have finished on the high note without. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know about the drug use, and that didn't bother me. And I knew about all the stuff with Bobby Brown, and that didn't bother me. What bothered me was the way they skipped. They skipped so much of her story. And I think because they were trying to fit like beginning to end from 83 to 2009, let's try to slam it into an hour and a half or 2 hours.
That's why I just wish they would have focused on one end.
And I would have liked if they would have just kind of, one part of her, even if it was like started the national anthem and finished with that gala thing.
Yeah.
I would have been okay with that. But if they're going to start her at the beginning, then, take it to that point with the Star Spangled Banner performance and then do the text stuff about how she died and this and that. And
yeah.
And
this has me a little worried for the Michael Jackson biopic that they're going to do. I hope they don't do this with MJ pick because I love MJ. I think Antoine Fuqua is the one doing it. I think
Antoine Fuqua is going to direct it. Yeah.
I hope he makes better decisions than this director. But fingers crossed.
Yeah. This was directed by Casey Lemons. But yeah, I mean, all in all, yeah, I think
this is worth the watch.
It's worth a watch for sure.
I'll watch it again.
Naomi Ackie did a good job, but she's not a great actress.
No. I bought this digitally, so and if I could find it physically cheap, I will add it to my collection.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So yeah. So I don't want to dance with somebody. Like I said, IMDb gave it a 6.7. Rotten Tomatoes critics score 44. Audience score 92. I actually got a higher score than you on this one. You gave it a 70, and I gave it a 74. For a total average score of 72.
What's the cast?
Let's see, where am I? No, we're both at a 5 for the cast. And it's funny because you won ending. Okay, so I had the script at a 7 and you a 6. I had the cinematography at a 7 and you a 5. And then I had the direction an 8 and you had a 5. Because there were some liberties that the director took that I liked that really kind of stuck with me. Otherwise, we were pretty much the same.
Okay. I was just more curious.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we get to the next movie, because we have 2 more left.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about Anchor because Anchor takes the audio portion of our live cast and puts it out on Spotify, iHeartMusic, and Amazon Music all for free. They sponsor us, they take care of us, and they changed their name now to Spotify for podcasting. So if you guys want to check that out, You can go to anchor.com. You can look up Spotify for podcasting and check it out. Put your live cast on there too. All you got to do is download the audio portion of this from StreamYard, which is really easy,
Mm-hmm.
and put it right to them. And they put it on there and send it to all the platforms that you apply for. You know, like if you want to do Radio Public or Apple Podcast or Google Podcast or anything like that, they'll do it on all of those for free. They'll sponsor you and they'll get you more sponsors once you get more followers. So hopefully you guys can check that out and also go on Spotify and follow the 4K Lowdown, because the more followers we get, the more sponsors we get. So I'd love to see that.
Please do that. We really appreciate it.
All right, we got 2 more left. And so let's get to women talking.
Okay. Okay. I want to be open and honest about this. I thought this was a stupid pick to be nominated for Best Picture of the Year for the Oscars.
Originally, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought this and Triangle of Sadness were like the redheaded stepchildren.
Yeah.
That were not going to get any votes.
A piece of shit.
Triangle of Sadness, we were right. Did not like it.
This movie, on the other hand,
this was good.
Was fantastic.
This was good.
Man, this stuck to me, and this is the movie I had to put my phone down and just watch, because if you haven't seen this,
and you have to, because this is all dialogue. This is all dialogue. This is all emotion. This is all about character performance. Yeah. As soon as I heard Sarah Polley was behind the film, I knew it'd be great. Oh man,
I loved her speech at the Oscars.
And I'm so happy for her.
I don't even know who she is, but
I know Sarah Polley as an actress. I've seen her in stuff. I didn't know that she wrote this. I didn't know her involvement here. I just knew about, as soon as I see the thing and it's women talking, and I was like, and I even got to say, even watching the trailer, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like this.
Yeah, me too.
I
think we even rated the trailer low.
Yeah. Well, I think, you gave it a 5. I gave it a 6.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't know if I want to watch it. I'm not sure I'm interested.
Yeah.
But it's on our list, so we did it. And I watched it, and literally glued. It was just
all these women in this.
Yeah. Yeah. So
even the kid, I loved the kids in this movie.
Oh yeah. I like kids.
Yeah.
Now there's one dude.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked him in here too.
Yeah. He did a good job.
Frances McDormand also sold me when I first saw the trailer. She could read the phone book to me. Yeah, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Heard good things about this one. Sounds like the perfect title for this movie. Yeah, that's exactly what to do.
Yeah, it's nail on the head.
This lets the cat out of the bag. Spoiler alert: women are talking in this movie. So when I'm watching this movie,
powerfully talking.
I instantly thought of 12 Angry Men. So this movie reminded me of 12 Angry Men, only with women.
Yeah.
I don't know if have you seen 12 Angry Men?
No.
Rich? Okay.
But
so 12 Angry Men, it's from the 50s,
and
they're jury, and they're trying to deliberate, and there's all kinds of prejudice and back and forth and different views, and it's all done in the jury room.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just riveting. The movie is just amazing. And that's what this reminded me of. So let me read the synopsis, since I'm kind of on that.
Hey, it's a very tough subject.
Yes.
And I don't, it is very gross at times. Even it's just talking. It makes you feel sick to your stomach.
Yeah.
So we both have daughters.
Yes.
So yeah.
Daughters, granddaughters.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, family. So it says, so here's the synopsis. Do nothing, stay and fight, or leave. In 2010, the women of an isolated religious community grapple with reconciling a brutal reality with their faith. I loved that. That's kind of neat. So, could see that. Love the conscious choice to focus on just the women in this film. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I just, it's amazing. There's there's a line in here, and I'm gonna say it. I don't think it spoils anything, but the line, and it's from the narrator's point. So
Mhm.
it's narrated. It's narrated by one of the girls, one of the
Mhm.
daughters. Um, and she says, "There's not a word for what we experienced.
Yeah, and that hits you once you
We
know what this
we
movie's
can
about.
only call it an attack." And I was like, ah, oh, and I was just like,
Mhm.
so right there, and it was like, and I'm just gonna call out Claire Foy again.
Mhm.
I loved her performance here. This was awesome. She was powerful. She was frightened and angry and just fierce in this movie. Claire Foy, I think, was snubbed at the Oscars. She deserved a supporting actress nomination, at least a nomination
Yeah,
for her
I
performance.
100% agree with that.
I loved Rooney Mara's performance, but it was Claire Foy that hooked me.
Mhm.
That like I was like on her every word when
Yeah.
she spoke. And but I really liked all the women in here. I even liked August, who played the guy, and he was kind of
Mhm.
transcribing for them. Um
And I like the ending when they told
I
him what that was for.
Yeah, I liked him in the story too.
Mhm.
Um and it's just, oh man, it's just
Yeah.
it was really good.
It's a
And
very powerful movie.
I'm really not, yeah. So, and here's, uh, you know, picture that. So that, basically they're in this barn and they're talking about
Mhm.
what's happened to them and trying to decide what they're going to do about it.
Yeah. And I'm
Uh,
going to point out the cinematography in this too. I gave this, I think, hold on.
you gave the
I give it,
cinematography, you gave the
an,
cinematography an 8.
yeah, this is
Yeah,
going to
we
sound
both did.
weird. I love that shot there, but I love that the color they gave it.
Yeah,
They had like this bluish, it's hard to describe. I don't know what the right words to how they color schemed it.
yeah,
Um, it was depressing looking as the subject matter is. I don't know if that's the feeling they were going for, but I loved it.
yeah. And then yeah, this I just had to put a picture of Claire Foy because
Hmm.
she absolutely killed this.
And there's
Um,
a scene in here, my heart breaks.
I
Um,
there were a couple.
I mean,
There
this
were
whole movie's heartbreaking.
This whole
And
movie is heartbreaking. It is a tough watch. I'm gonna tell you guys,
yeah,
it is a tough watch. It
but
is
there's
not
a scene,
something to be taken lightly. Do not just
no,
sit there with a couple of beers and watch this movie.
mhm.
Get the tissue ready.
Because there's moments where I tear. I'm not gonna lie, I teared up.
Yeah, just because, and it's based on a true story.
Yeah, and that's what's even worse. I mean, this
Yeah,
happens, in those kind of communities.
it does. And the way that the women are viewed or
And brainwashed.
perceived in this movie. She said the whole film is
Yeah,
heartbreaking. It is absolutely heartbreaking. And I'm gonna say, I don't know if this is, if this is Amish or Quaker or
Mennonite or
Mennonite or something like that. But it's something like that. And the way that they view women is no different than they view their horse
hmm
or just like a piece of property. So understanding that right off the bat, no, these women are in such a position to
yeah,
where they're kind of screwed either way. No matter what they do. So they've
and
just got to pick the best option for
the
them.
way that religion gets twisted
Yeah.
in this movie. I mean, not in just this movie, but I mean in these communities,
Yeah.
because it is not what God's talking about,
Yeah.
and in the way that
Yeah.
I keep saying brainwashed. These women are brainwashed by these people.
Well, I mean, yeah, this basically they were raised in this society
Hmm.
and finally they're like, no, this is wrong.
Hmm.
This is what's happening to us is wrong. There's
Wrong
a
is not even the right word.
No, it's yeah, I'm gonna say fucked up is
Yeah.
what I'm gonna say. But I'm trying to hold my tongue, but it made me so angry. But they were like,
Hmm.
you know, we know these were people. We know these weren't demons or something like that. And I was just like, man. Um, but yeah, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. I don't want to
Yeah.
live. I don't want to spoil anything for you guys. This is absolutely worth a watch. It is slow. It's like molasses in the
You say
wintertime.
slow, but not in a bad way.
Not in a bad way.
No, no,
It's
no, no,
just
no.
it's just slow. It's
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say it's a slow burn either. It's not a thriller. It's a real um it's a real situation. It's
Yeah.
just something, and the way
It
that they
made me
did it,
sit
and
up.
again with the cinematography, and I got to applaud Sarah Polly here too. You feel like you're in that barn,
Uh-huh.
joined in the conversation.
It's kind of claustrophobic too.
Yeah,
It's very claustrophobic feeling.
yeah. It's very claustrophobic, like I said, until um that barn door opens and you kind of see the sun
Mm-hmm.
and the kids are playing in the grass.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like, it was like, okay, they have their decision. They know what they're going to do. That's kind
Mm-hmm.
of where I felt. But yeah, I dug it. So,
Guys, see this movie.
yeah,
Don't watch it if you have children in the room. That it's not one of those you can pop on. And if your kids are over 10, I'm sure they could pick up on what they're talking about.
yeah,
It's yeah, you don't. This is definitely not a watch with the kids.
yeah, yeah. You have to be okay with a dialogue driven
Yeah,
film.
and as I was going to say
Yeah,
earlier, this movie
that's the
made
thing.
me
It's
sit
not,
up
it's
and
not
pay
driven by
attention.
explosions or anything. Yeah. It's a bunch of women in a
Mm-hmm.
barn.
Yeah.
Um, it's based on a book, Spicy.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
What has Sarah Polly done outside? I'm not familiar with her, at least by name. I might be by face if I saw her in something.
Yeah.
Because I want to check out more of her work. Is this her directorial debut?
I don't think so. She's got 54 credits as an actress. Because that's where I knew her from. She's got 10, she's directed 10 movies, counting this one. Um, Lots of short movies, a TV series. Away from Her, Take This Waltz, Stories We Tell, and Hey Lady was a TV series. She directed 8 episodes of that, and then Women Talking. So yeah, she hasn't done a whole lot, but then a whole bunch of um, short movies. All I Want for Christmas, I Shout Love.
Nothing I've seen.
Um, not going to see any of that, but Take This Waltz, I think I've seen, and I liked it.
Well, I'll be looking for what her next project is.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what she does next.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, I do remember I recognized her as an actress, and I was like, "Oh, hey, I know her." And so when she came up to do the speech, I was like, "Oh, hey." Uh,
Great speech at the Oscars.
yeah, she had an amazing speech. Okay,
And if you
so
guys didn't check out our Oscar show, go back and watch it on 4K on David's channel. It was a fun stream.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, Mika says no, it's not a directorial debut. Go agree with
I
that.
did know.
Favorite from her have been Take This Waltz and Stories We Tell. Yeah, Take This Waltz I've seen, I believe.
I don't think I haven't seen it.
And then yeah, it's adapted from a novel. Yeah, but it is based on true events or
And that's
inspired by true events, is what it says. But so, um, okay, so I don't have a budget on this, but globally, it only made $7.9 million.
and that's sad because it should
And
have been.
it's sad, but I guess I understand it because people
Yeah.
want to be entertained more than educated. And this is definitely like Mika said, it's a dialogue driven or character driven
Mhm.
story. Um, so IMDb gave this a 7.0. Rotten Tomatoes critics score 90, audience score 80. You gave this a 75, and I gave it a 79 for a total average score of 77.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. So yeah, your tens were in acting, story, and script, and my 10s were in acting and script. And I don't know about you, but I did this before she won the Oscar for screenplay.
When did I watch this? Just last week.
Yeah.
No, it was before the Oscars.
Yeah, I watched it before the Oscars, and I was like, dude, that is probably the best script. And when I saw shoot, and then I went, oh, they asked me nominated for adapted screenplay. And I went back to the Oscar nominations, and she was, and I was like, man, I'm really sorry I picked All Quiet on the Western Front for that.
Yeah, me too. I think I picked that too, didn't I?
Yeah, no, I think we both picked All Quiet on the Western Front, and then Women Talking. I was like, I'm not surprised. Yeah. So yeah, it's good, but yeah, it's tough. I don't think it's any more than a one-time watch, but it is a great one-time watch.
I definitely want this in my collection.
I will have it in my collection for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay $20.
It's actually out on physical now. I actually saw it at Walmart, so it is on physical release. I'm gonna wait till it goes down a little bit in price.
Maybe $10.
But I think I want the Blu-ray because all I found was a DVD. So I think I'm gonna wait and get the Blu-ray later.
Check it out. I give it 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, me too.
No sideways thumbs.
No sideways thumbs on that one.
Sideways thumbs are reserved for Dave After Dark.
Yep. Hang on.
And there it is.
There it is. Right. Looking for a remote. I was going to change the lights to red behind me. Anyway, all right. We got one more to do.
Yeah, we do.
And that is, scroll up to grab it. That is Creed 3. So, okay, so your opinion.
I love this one.
Creed 3, better. What would you rank it in the Creed franchise? How would you rank it?
It's not as good as Creed 1, but it's close. But it's better than Creed 2.
I agree with most of that. I don't think it's as close to Creed 1, but I do think it's better than Creed 2.
I think what the Creed franchise is missing is Rocky. I think Stallone.
Yeah.
I think his heart.
I didn't miss him terribly, but I missed that inspirational thing.
Yeah.
Where he does something and gets you motivated. Yeah. Instead, he kind of had to do it himself.
And that's okay.
And I did like it. I loved that turning point.
Mm-hmm. But I'm sorry, but yes, I love Michael B. Jordan. He's fantastic. He's an amazing actor. But the star of the show was Jonathan Majors. Oh yeah. Oh fuck, man. Everything since I seen him in Love and Country, I fell in love with this dude. He was fantastic in that. And then he was in Quantum Media. You mean
Lovecraft Country?
Yeah, what'd I say?
You said Love and Country.
I
was like, did he do something called Love and Country? Because Lovecraft Country was my first thing with him.
Yeah. He's fantastic.
He's fantastic. But this is Michael B. Jordan's directorial debut. Mm-hmm. And what you couldn't find a better place to do this than in the third spot in a trilogy when the characters are already established.
Yeah.
And he just comes in, and I'll say he tried some stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
Some stuff I liked, some stuff I didn't. But he tried some stuff out as a director, and I applaud him for taking risks.
I did too.
So I dug it. So IMDb gives this a 7.3. Rotten Tomatoes critics score 88, audience score 96. Had a budget of 75 million. Has made 185.4 million so far globally. Yeah. One of my favorite actors at the moment. Love him. Yeah, he was great in Lovecraft. Jonathan Majors, man, in Devotion. knocked it
Oh,
out
I
of the
forgot he
park.
was in that too. He was great
I
in that.
loved him in Devotion, and that was the
He
reason why I
steals the
brought
show.
him. He steals that movie, and he
Mhm.
kind of stole this too.
I agree. And he
Um,
did the same thing with Ant-Man and
he stole the
Wasp.
whole. Yeah,
He is the best part of that movie.
he was the best part of Ant-Man of Quantumania,
Mhm.
and to see him,
Just look at this poster, man.
to see him be able to cry like that on cue, and it'd be like, and but yeah, I smell an Oscar for him
Yeah,
in the next
he's got
5
it.
years. In the next 5 years, I smell an Oscar, at least a nomination,
Yeah.
if not a win. But yeah, I think Jonathan Majors is an amazing actor.
Mhm.
But yeah, and he kind of overshadowed Michael B. Jordan a little bit.
He
Michael B.
he
Jordan was
comes.
directing, so he didn't really. It's kind of funny. He really didn't. I didn't really see him too much in the movie. It was really kind of Jonathan Majors doing the stuff, and then Michael B. Jordan would have his little reaction. But yeah, Jonathan Majors kind of overshadowed him in the acting department, but I think Michael B. Jordan was more focused on the directorial side.
Yeah.
So yeah, really, Harrison says clever Kang. That's
Yeah,
funny.
that's pretty good.
Love that. Yeah, he's been everywhere. I agree. I see it. Yeah. I do like Michael B. Jordan as an actor. I think he's great.
I love him from Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, it was Chronicle for me because
Yeah.
he was in Chronicle. I really liked him in that. But
he deserved the success, man.
Yeah,
He really does.
I'm happy for him. I really am. And I think, you basically got a Clubber Lang style bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Brutal, cheats a little bit, fights dirty, doing stuff.
Yeah. You can't spoil. I mean, I want to talk about it, but I like there's potential for more.
Yeah.
I like where they used the bad guy from Creed 2 in this.
Yeah, I like the relationship between Adonis and Drago in this. And I thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
No, me neither. I really didn't think that Drago would be in this movie.
Yeah, me neither.
At all. I
had no clue.
I thought he was going to be one and done. So yeah, that kind of gives me a hint now that Creed 3 is over that if 4 comes out, that maybe Jonathan Majors helps him out or does something for him. I don't know.
they're Amazon's looking at a TV series. They've mentioned that. So yeah. There's all kinds of potential here.
Yeah. No, I think yeah.
Now, whether that's a good idea.
I don't know. That remains to be seen. Do we really want a series? We've got enough series based on movies. All right. So your 10s on here are in cast, which is obvious. The plot, great trailer. This is the best trailer of the week. Ending and the cinematography. Now, my 10s were in the cast and the trailer, but I have 9s in the ending and the music. Because I really like the music involved here. I dug it a lot. It wasn't as inspirational as Eye of the Tiger and the hero stuff that Rocky always does, but I do like the style of music, and there was some good music in here. So I really like the soundtrack here. This is one I will definitely get on 4K when it comes out.
Me too. I only own I don't know either one of them in 4K. I just have them on Blu-ray.
Yeah, I have I think me too. I think I only have the Blu-ray. I thought I might have the first one in 4K, but I don't think I've got it yet. I've got it on I've got it on my Amazon list, so when it drops in price or I see a sale or I've got a credit, then I'll probably grab it. Okay. So there, like I said, there were things that I didn't care for.
Like what?
The
No
last,
spoil.
I'm not no spoiler, but the last boxing match I didn't care for.
See, this is where me and you disagree again.
Yeah. So
I loved that. I love that they.
I love the risk and I liked the sequence, and I'm thinking you're kind of on the same page with me there.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't like is how far they skipped ahead in the match.
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah, I see why you wouldn't like.
So it just I didn't feel like I got enough of that boxing match. When when the final match is happening, it's supposed to extend like the entire the length of the match, and it just didn't
It
go.
felt a little rushed.
It was rushed, and I was like, wow, all of a sudden they're here, and I was like, well, okay. But there is a sequence here that I think Michael B. Jordan does a good job with.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that he took a lot of notes from anime. He's a big anime fan. So he did some anime style stuff with it, with the
Oh, I
movie.
didn't know that.
Yeah, and I dug some of it. I got a little, hint of, like Sherlock Holmes style fighting with the slow motion effects and
Yeah.
things like that in the first boxing match. Um, but I think the match between um Jonathan Major's character Damien and Felix, the champion at the time,
Mm-hmm.
that match was my favorite match of the
Yeah,
movie.
I agree. Hold on. And I like the end. This, I say the first end sequence where the people are talking in a locker room. I really liked that. I like that touch.
Yeah.
I yeah, I like what was said there. Um, and then I liked what happens after, and it felt very. Was it Rocky 3 where or was it Rock? No, it's Rocky 3, isn't it? Where but Creed and him are doing the. It ends with them punching each other. Is that
Well,
right?
yeah, ends of them, because that was Apollo's requirement or his payment
Yeah,
for helping him beat Clubber Lang. He was like, on the condition that you and I have one more rematch.
yeah, and this and it, and
And
that
it
very
was
end
like,
sequence
that's what they did
reminded
at
me.
the very end. And then it picks up in 4 with that match being over.
Mm-hmm.
And Stallone's got a shiner, and they're like, really? He
Yeah.
goes, yeah, Polo wanted to do it. So I
But
I
that end
like
sequence,
I
for
like
some
that
reason,
sequence.
reminded me of that.
Yeah, I could dig that. But my favorite character in this
Wait, wait,
movie,
wait, 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 wait. You
what
forgetting about Tessa Thompson?
I was kind of going there, but
Oh, mother, I'm sorry.
um,
Oh, she's fantastic.
so Tessa Thompson is always fantastic. Love her to death. But besides Jonathan Majors, I loved the daughter in this movie.
Mm-hmm. And I don't like kid actors.
I'm not a fan of kid actors. They actually took a real deaf girl
Oh, is she?
for that role. She's actually legitimately deaf. And that was Michael B. Jordan's requirement, was that she actually be deaf. I thought she did amazing. I loved her
Mm-hmm.
character. I loved how he was kind of teaching her how to box, and she's
On
like
the side.
on the side, but she actually like watched all of his fights already, so she kind
Mm-hmm.
of knew what was going on. And there were scenes with her that I really liked, like her in school when the other girl's picking on her. There were things that I liked about that, but I
Yeah.
loved her character in the movie. Tessa Thompson, amazing job. I have no yeah.
She's great in this.
I love that they use a real deaf child. I saw her in the interviews. Yeah, I didn't see her
I
in the
didn't know
interviews.
that.
But yeah, I knew about it. And so I was digging on that, and I really liked her character of Amara in the movie. I thought she did an amazing job. And I know you're not a fan of child actors. There was one other point I wanted to make, and I can't remember off the top of my head. So it must not have been important. But yeah, no, there were things that I actually dug about this. There's not a whole lot. This is a lot more character driven than you get like in Rocky 4 and stuff like that, where it's mainly about the fight and the training and the montage and stuff like that. This is more about the past coming back to haunt Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
And and then Damien thinking that he needs to get what's rightfully his. And so I dug that part of it. I like the dialogue. I like the way they did it. I like some of the risks that Michael B. Jordan took, and I applaud all the risks. Take chances. Do what you got to do, because I wanted to see some individuality of him as a director, and I did.
Yeah.
I got a piece of that.
And I'm glad MGM let him have that freedom.
Yeah. I loved that. All right. So I'm really happy with the money that's made so far. I was hoping that it would make $500 million, but I don't think it's going to make that mark. That's globally. But like I said, IMDb gave this a 7.3, and that's the highest rating of the ones that we did. Rotten Tomatoes critic score 88, audience score 96. You gave this a 90. And I gave it an 84 for a total average score of 87. That is our top movie of the week. And I just want to throw a couple more pictures in. Like I said, this was my favorite fight. And then the standoff with the two of them before their match. I liked it a lot. I dug Creed 3. It's absolutely worth a watch. It's worth watching in the theater if you get a chance.
Yeah, go see it in the theater. Don't wait for it to come home.
But otherwise, if you just watch it when it comes home, then watch it. If you own any of the franchise, then it's definitely worth buying, I think.
Oh, shit.
I'll watch it. I'll watch this every day, twice on Sunday.
Sorry, all right. Guys. I have a really bad cramp in my foot, and it's not really well. It's fine.
That's an old people thing, bro.
Yeah, man. It's like, oh shit. That really hurts.
I got my cardigan on because it's cold in my house. Because I'm old and I don't know what time it is.
We're old, man.
We're old men.
Yeah, grumpy old men.
Yep.
But thanks for watching, guys.
Well, really appreciate
what movies we'll be doing next week.
All right. Well, yeah, next week we got some interesting ones. We took a look at Netflix, and we're gonna see We Have a Ghost and Blood Red Sky. So those look really interesting. I can't wait to get a look at that. We're going to take a look at The Whale with Brendan Fraser, because that just came out on physical. I'm excited to watch that. Yeah. We're going to look at 65, which is in the theaters right now, starring Adam Driver. And we're going to look at Missing, which is a spinoff or a sequel to Searching. Yeah. Filmed all in like POV with like FaceTime and stuff like that. I saw that one in the theater, and so we're gonna check that out, because that one is coming out next week on physical.
I think we got some good movies in here.
Yeah, me too. Blood Red Sky. I enjoyed this one. Yeah. So we're anxious to score that and these other ones. So all in all, bro, what do you think of the? What do you think?
Honestly, we had one shit one, and the rest were pretty good.
Yeah, sometimes we got to take the shit in order to get the good ones. But yeah, Mika says great selection. Looking forward to it. Thanks, Mika.
Thank you, Mika,
for joining us. That's next Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll be back again with episode 11 of By the Numbers, and also stick around with us tomorrow.
Got an extra.
We're going to do our top 10 movies, beginning with the letter U. For our next episode of our Sesame Street Top 10, or as Rich put it a couple weeks ago, which I love, our alphabet soup, where we're going to take the letter U, and we picked a bunch of movies. We're scoring them. We're going to watch them. And yeah, that's all ready to come up tomorrow. So hopefully you guys can stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
And then next month we'll be doing the letter V. So, which was a little bit harder to pick.
Ah, man, you picked the shittiest
We're
letter.
gonna do our draft for it. We're gonna do our draft tomorrow night for that one. But yeah, I'm having some trouble picking some good ones.
Yeah.
Underdog, I'm gonna say no.
Yeah.
But there are some that start with the word under.
Yeah. There's more than one.
We'll just say that, more than one.
Mm-hmm.
And not from the same franchise. But yeah, no, I liked the movies. It was a good group this time. And I was really surprised by Women Talking.
Me too.
I love that one.
I'm glad we picked it. I'm glad we watched it.
Yeah, I'm glad we watched it too. I was kind of dreading it at first, but I'm glad I finally got to see it. Mika says V is going to be a tough one.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Mika.
Mika.
Appreciate it. I want to thank you guys for joining us. Next Thursday we've got Comic Talk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So tell us about that one.
Next Thursday. What is the date? The 23rd? Is it the 23rd? Yes, 23rd. We're going to be talking about the first trade, the first volume of The Walking Dead. Dave loves the show. Never read the
show. Yeah, huge fan of the show. Never read the comic book.
So I'm interested in his takes. I love the comic. I was reading the comic before the show became a hit, before it even hit the airs. So I was in for it. Oh, awesome.
Yana, thank you so much for joining us and chiming in. I'm glad you bought Women Talking. It's definitely.
I'm going to add it to my collection.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to wait a little bit, but I'm definitely getting that for my shelf.
So 8:00 next Thursday, Comic Talk issue.
That's Central Time.
Yeah, 8 Central Time. Yeah.
Yeah. So 6 Pacific, 9 Eastern.
Yeah, I'm terrible at time zones.
Yeah, I got you.
We'll be talking Walking Dead. So if you guys like The Walking Dead, come join us.
Yeah, that'll be on Rich's channel.
It'll be on my channel.
Yeah, Turner Fan 77. So definitely give him, and all of our stuff is in the comments to follow us on all of our grams and books and Twitter and junk. So definitely give us a follow there, because I have written reviews that I put all the time on Facebook.
Yeah, she's got great reviews on Facebook.
And I try to
more in depth than what we do here.
Yeah. Thanks. But yeah, it's like how I felt about it and my scores, and it's basically genre based, so it's not quite the scoring system that we're doing here, but it's still 10 aspects and giving it a reasonable score, I think. So yeah, I've got a lot of movies upcoming that I've got to put in, but yeah, and then Letterboxd too. I'm on there as well.
Yeah.
Thanks, Harrison. Appreciate it.
And we really appreciate you.
We loves everyone. Dead, and I do too. So real good fans about that. But you guys, I appreciate you guys being on. Take care. We're coming up to an hour and a half, so I'm going to shut it down. We'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow. If not, next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Or By the Numbers episode 11, and then Comic Talk Thursday on Turner Fan 77's channel. Thank you so much. We'll see you later.
See you guys.
Have a great weekend if we don't talk to you before then. Take care.
See you.